Hello everyone, my name is Travis Hahn and I am the composer of the indeterminate open instrumentation piece, Silva, which I presume you are here to learn more about or how to submit. This video will be separated into two segments, the first of which explaining more in depth to the background of Silva itself, and the second part being the tutorial on how to submit if you are interested in doing so. So starting off with what Silva is, from the description, it's a open instrumentation indeterminate, interactive, and dynamic piece. And so that's a lot of words to not say a lot, because many things are all of those. So what it really is a piece that has either, you could see it as having no identity, or a very fluid identity with basically just a framework underneath it. So what it really is it started with a seed recording, which you can see on the graph above where you probably found this video. Or if you've not navigated to the website yet, that's where you will see it. So this seed is a simple recording that I've asked someone to do. Where they were given no instruction besides just to play and really do whatever they want with it. And this seed is where the forest of Silva, which is the Latin word for forest, is really being grown from. You could see it as a forest or a tree, a very large tree. And so what happens is, other individuals like yourself, you can go and choose to either listen to or watch all of the recordings in the project, and just experience it for fun or for enjoyment, for anything, or you can choose to add a branch yourself. And so basically, what you can do is you can look through all these recordings and you can just pick one. And maybe you really like that recording and you can listen to it over and over again, and you can use that as inspiration for your own performance with as many people as you want, or no performers. That's completely a valid option. And so from this, after hopefully hundreds of people have done it, wishful thinking, we end up with a project that has 1,000 nodes on it, or branches, or leaves, whatever you want to call them. And that's the end condition that I've set, but in theory it could go on indefinitely. There is no real defining edge to a forest besides the limitations of time and space, really. So is the same with this project. So really its identity, its sound, it is constantly in flux and in motion. And you don't really have much control over the direction of it because it's up to the performer to create the piece themselves, such as with most indeterminate works. But it's not so much that Silva is a singular sound, but it's the totality of all of the sounds put together. And so that's a pretty brief introduction to what it was. And now we'll move on to how you can, if you so wish to, submit your own recording to the project. So, the first thing we're going to do is head over to Google, and then we're going to go to my website, travishahncomposer.com/Silva, to get to it. And that'll bring you here. It has a redirection, so don't worry about that. So here's the name, here's the description, and this is the graph I was referring to, which many of you may have seen if you got the video from the site down here. And this really is Silva itself. Now this is just a test, and the real seed recording will be here very shortly. And so, let's say, you already know all this. You really want to submit. You've listened to all these, and you're excited. So we're going down in the instructions, and we start here. We're going to start here, and we're going to work through it. So select any recording from the large graph above or from the table at the bottom of the page. So we can either select one of these and be like, oh, I like let's just say I like this one down here, this recording that I've chosen. But this is just a box. You don't really know what it sounds like. Maybe you just like the location of it. So you can see the performer's name, and there's this guide, L2CN0, which it has a parent-child relationship. So there's a layer, and there's the child number, is how I've dictated it. So starting from the seed, it'll continually grow. So here would be layer 1. The seed was layer 0. So it's 0 indexed. Then layer 2. So let's say we like layer 2, child number 0. So we would go down to the bottom of the page, and we'd go to the table, and like, here's a YouTube link. We can open that up, and we can view it. We can listen to it. And say we really like that recording, and that's the one we're going to use. Also, if you didn't look at the graph at all, and you could just scroll right down to the table and look at all the recordings independent of the graph itself, that's a valid option to choose. So, let's say we've chosen our recording that we like. So, we found the recording on the table. We did that. Let's say we've listened to the recording. We've taken so much time. So, as I mentioned in the first part of this video, we're using that material as a guide for our own performance, up to your own intuition. You can do anything you want with it. You can use it as inspiration, as instruction, as a framework, as a guideline, anything really, just to perform and be inspired by this performance that you've listened to. And then, of course, watch the tutorial video, which you are here doing. So, recording instructions. Make your recording the highest possible quality you can produce, but don't worry if you don't have top-of-the-line equipment. This is really just out there to not discourage anyone who thinks they don't have what it takes or don't have the right stuff to do it. You can record this on a phone, you could record this on a potato, and it is equally as valid as every other submission out there. So that's nothing to worry about. No requirements. You don't need to be in a concert hall, a cathedral, or anything. And you can edit your video as much as you want afterwards. You want to take 1,000 takes and mash them all together into one really awesome take, you can do that. You want to do first one and done, and that's it, perfectly valid. Or live electronics. You can use those as much as you want, or edited electronics afterwards. And do make sure to have fun, because that's really what music and all of this is about. So, uploading to YouTube, or uploading instructions. You should upload this recording of yours to YouTube, and I have one recording of my own right down here. I've made this earlier. It's a 3-second video of me giving a thumbs up. So say that's our recording that we've done. So we absolutely must name your video in this manner. That's because the computer does it automatically, and it scrapes the YouTube page itself to get all the information. And if you can't scrape the page, you can't get access to it. And so if it's not named like this, it'll have a struggle, and it just won't do it right. Make sure to only submit your link once, so you can't use the same YouTube link again. Like, if I upload a video and submit the link, I can't put it on another branch. It just won't let me do that. And then your video may be public or unlisted, but it may not be private. This is another thing with the computer. If it's a private video, we can't get access to it, so the computer just won't be able to access it, and it'll be a mess. So make sure it's public or unlisted. So let's say you have your recording here. This is our recording. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to YouTube, and I've already opened it up here, and we have just click the upload button in the top right corner. And we're going to go and drag our video, and we're going to upload it to YouTube. All right, we're going to give it a minute. Okay, now here's the important part. We're going to name it as such. Silva dash our name. So let's just add some random name like Joe. Why not? And then your country. So I'm going to put the United States, but you can put really anything here. This is just for future reference, and it's not really that important. Oh, processing. That's not important. The description can be left empty. You can put anything you want in it. Thumbnail, whatever you want. No, it's not made for kids. Just make sure. You can add anything else you want to it. This is your video and your recording. You do whatever you want. This is the only requirement is just the title. And then you got to make sure it is, nope, no copyright issues. And then it's unlisted or public. So I'm going to put it as unlisted here. And then we're going to click save. And boom, our video is uploaded. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy our link, or you can just browse to the video itself like such. And we can open up here. And like here's the video. Then we would just go and copy and paste it over here. So now we're here to the final step. You're going to paste that YouTube link here. And now remember the L and CN number? We're going to use that again to plug them in right here. So remember we chose this recording we want to add on to. So we're going to go down here. We see layer, child number, 20. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer parent node. So the parent node is the one we're attaching to. So we want to choose that ordered pair because we're attaching to that one. Think of it as like a chain and you want to link on to the previous chain, not like you're adding another one somewhere else. So we're going to put 2, and then we're going to put 0, because that's what's down here. Then we're going to click submit. We're going to wait for a second. It'll give us, if everything worked, it'll give us an OK, and that tells us we know it's right. We're going to click OK again. The page will reload, and if we go down here, right here, here's our video for everyone to see. Now, anyone who goes on this website can access this, and they'll see it's been added to this tree. Or we can scroll down, and here it is. Performer Joe, the new location of it, and the YouTube video that we connected to. So yeah, that's about it. It's pretty simple. It's a little overcomplicated, but you'll get there. Well, we make it work. Anyway, so that's really all. That's it for recording or uploading. So I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial explaining everything about what Silva is and how it works. And even though uploading is a little overcomplicated, you'll pull through. It's I tried to make it as accessible as possible, but I'm not the greatest communicator in the world. So yeah, thank you all for stopping by and checking this out. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Or night. You never know when it is. All right. Thanks, everybody.